Welcome to Speed Data, quick conversations with cybersecurity leaders. I'm your host, Megan Garza, and today we have a special guest, my colleague, Andrew AJ Forysiak. Thanks for joining me today, AJ.
Thanks, Megan. It's great to be here.
AJ works on the Varonis Department of Defense team as a business development executive. In his role, he builds coalition and professional networks with military, civilian, and intelligence community execs to create support for complex national security and intelligence programs. He's kind of a big deal. AJ, you have your Master's of Science degree in cybersecurity from Brown University, and you're a senior executive fellow at the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. Did you always know that you wanted to work in the federal sector in some capacity?
Yeah, that's a great question, Megan. So I started my career in the military. So I was a military intelligence officer. And back in, I'd say about 10, 11 years ago, they were taking a lot of intelligence officers and transitioning them to cyber. So it was a natural fit. So a lot of folks that were in the intel field went over into cyber, and because we do hunt type missions in intel, and we're just hunting different ways in cyber. So it was something that I always enjoyed doing, and the federal and government space was something I've been involved with for almost 30 years now.
What drew you to cybersecurity? What did you like about it?
When I was in the military, it was a lot different. You know, we were in Iraq, Afghanistan, doing intel missions over there, did a lot of work in South America, Colombia, Peru, Venezuela, places like that. As I got older, I wanted to do something a little less physical on your body. So getting into cyber and doing those kind of things was was something I really looked forward to doing. And it was an exciting field. It's up and coming. And there's just so many opportunities in that space.
And now you also have an interest in media. You recently launched your YouTube channel, AJ Talks Cyber. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so that was a project that I've delayed for a couple of years while I was at Brown. One of my instructors there encouraged me to do something like that. She said, "You've got all this knowledge, and you should share it. Use this media or that method to get that information out." I finally got the courage, read some Brene Brown and made myself vulnerable and started the channel. And I'm up to, I think I've got 3 of them now, and I already have my next 4 planned out that what I'm going to talk about.
I love Brene Brown. My mom turned me on to her. She's fantastic. I could do a whole speed data on that. But what's your favorite cyber topic to discuss? What gets you pumped?
I spent all that time on the government side, and I felt that there's so many solutions out there in the commercial space. So what got me excited about cyber was we could solve a lot of problems. So just take something simple like today, we keep talking about zero trust and how important zero trust is. There's plenty of ways to do that in the commercial space, because the commercial area had to solve that problem, 10 years ago with all the regulations from GDPR and HIPAA and CCPA. So now the government's finally catching up and following suit. Those are things I've been writing a lot about now in my blog, and I also talk about in my videos.
So I have to admit, I'm a bit of a fan. I watched your second episode about the importance of keeping your data secure while traveling. In it, you said, one primary reason for safeguarding personal data during travel is the risk of identity theft and financial fraud. How can you protect yourself from being a victim of this?
There's some personal things you could do. Using a VPN is super important. RFID blockers on your credit cards. I know a lot of wallets today have them built in, but if you have an older style wallet, they sell them everywhere. They're in Staples, little things like that. Turning on your VPN when you log on to a Wi-Fi hotspot, or turning off your automatic connection to Wi-Fi hotspots. Those are some easy ways that you could protect yourself while traveling, and get a credit card that you're only going to use in your travel. Try to keep that separate from your other credit cards, because then if there's charges on that, they're not part of your daily use, that it's only used while you're traveling. So it's just a couple of things you could do to help protect yourself.
So if you weren't in cybersecurity, would you want to travel for work, or what would be your ideal job?
I really do enjoy traveling. My brother lives overseas. He currently lives in Vietnam. And it's kind of something that both of us really enjoy doing. So what would I be doing if I wasn't in cyber? I'd probably be following what he does, which is in banking. He's in a very highly regulated industry and is involved in investing. And it's something that's a secondary passion of mine.
And as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, you have quite an impressive background and certainly know a lot about the cyber realm. Can you share one thing you wish future cybersecurity professionals knew?
I learned a valuable lesson early on in my career. When you embark on something really challenging or very technical, you have to master the basics. Cybersecurity is a very technical and complex field. But when you start breaking down these complex tasks into simple, bite-sized elements, those are super important to master. So if you master the basics, it's very easy to start tackling some of these complex problems we have in cyber. So I think it's about mastering the basics, doing them right, be diligent about them, and then the bigger things will solve themselves.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to chat with me. And as always, if our audience has any questions they'd like to see on an upcoming episode of Speed Data, please email me at my new address, pr@varonis.com. Thanks again, AJ.
Thanks, Megan.